Good morning, everyone. Just excited to be back with you all, and certainly back on the field with our players. Yesterday was a great start to the OTA part of the off season, and just so excited about this group of men. They're working their butts off, really from the start of the off season program up to what we did yesterday. We're seeing a lot of improvement, and we're just excited about where this group's going to go.
All right, and we will start off with Cassidy and then go over to Mike.
Hey Jay, how's it going?
Good. How you doing, Cassidy?
Good. With Nick and Princely, I know that's a position that sometimes can have a steep learning curve from college to the NFL. So what do you see from the two of them just in terms of like what they're doing to attack that learning curve, so to speak?
Yeah, well, they're working. That's the first thing they're doing. They're giving great effort in terms of the classroom. They're giving great effort on the field. Even when things are slowed down up to the full speed drills, everything is very, very intentional for that group. Coach Andrew Carter is doing an excellent job with those guys, and we know that, like you said, there's a lot going on in the league in terms of that position. There's a lot put on their plates, and there's a lot of things they need to learn. But their eagerness and their effort to get it learned has been impressive so far.
And then sort of a random question, but Trayvon Merrick has a lot of off the field personality and interests that are a little different. What have you learned about him since he's been here, and has there been anything that's maybe surprised you?
No, so we did a lot of work on him when I was at the Rams when he was coming out of TCU, and we actually did a Zoom interview with him and all the whole jazz, and I had a lot of love for him as a player, as a person back then, and really just our time together now has really just confirmed that. This guy, you can see why he's had the level of success that he's had in the pros. He's a tireless worker. He's detailed in his approach. He does a great job of asking questions and communicate with the coaching staff. And so I've been really, really pleased with them. And I need to dive into those off-the-field antics. I have not heard about that.
Ask him what kind of pets he has. Start with that one.
Okay, all right. Sounds good.
Hey Jay, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm well. So from like a defensive line standpoint, you brought in a bunch of different body types in free agency. Obviously, there were run issues last year. Do you see a way of like kind of morphing the way you play the defensive line or that front seven now that you've kind of taken in last year?
Yeah, no, we're very excited about our group right now. Obviously, we're looking forward to Derek as he progresses back from his injury, and obviously Ashawn as well. The addition of Turk and Bobby Brown, and even all the other guys, Crum, Cam Jackson, is a draftee Hunt. So we've got a really, really good group. These guys are working their butts off. Coach Todd Wash is doing an excellent job with them. And so it's been really good to see the progressions that we're making with that group. In terms of the second part of your question, everything that we do from year to year is always looking to improve. And it really doesn't matter how good or how bad you do the year before. In this league, you always have to be evolving. You always have to be trying to stay ahead of the curve. And so that's what we're trying to do. We certainly know we need to play better up front. I need to coach better up front. And we're trying to really reinforce, like really being physical and coming off the ball and getting some knockback. And we want to make sure that that's a big part of what we do.
Along with his apparent interesting pets, Merrick's got some versatility to him.
Mm-hmm.
I was just curious as a former DB's coach and as a defensive play caller, how does somebody who has that blitzing ability and have the coverage ability and just the playmaking ability help you kind of disguise pre-snap in a way that you can benefit everybody else in the secondary?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, and certainly, like with our experience in the past with guys like Jalen Ramsey and Pat Surtain, there's certainly certain guys that are like you view them as weapons that they have a way of impacting the game. When I look at Merrick, what he can do in a deep part of the field as a coverage player, what he could do close to the line of scrimmage as a run defender, he's very versatile. He's certainly an asset for us in our defense, and it's our job to make sure that we get him in positions to utilize his strengths.
Thanks.
All right, we will go to David, followed by Darren.
Hey, Coach. Good to see you.
Yeah, same to you, Dave.
Back again. Yeah. I wanted to ask you, there was a lot of talk about you guys drafting a defensive player with that number 8 pick in the draft, and then you got a wide receiver instead. Where did you fall in all of that conversation, and why did you agree with that pick? I assume you did.
Yeah, the one thing that Dan and his staff does a great job of is communication. And so, like, really, since he took over 2 years ago, year and a half ago, whatever it was, the communication lines have been great, and everything is talked through. We have good perspective. Obviously, in my seat, I can only see it from one lens, a defensive lens. But at the end of the day, Dave and Dan have to make decisions that are really reflective of the entire team, and I trust those decisions 100%. And so, I'm excited about what we did in the draft. I'm certainly excited about the guys we added on defense, and looking forward to really just coaching them up and trying to develop them to become the best versions of themselves.
And as a defensive coach, now you've got Leggett out there and you've got McMillan. So how is adding that piece that they did add with McMillan going to make it tougher on defenses in general?
Yeah, I mean, those are two really good players right there, and obviously they're young and they're going to continue to develop. But those guys they got picked at where they got picked at because of the skill sets they have, and so I know that's going to certainly put a lot of pressure on our opponents, and it's going to make us better as we work through the offseason working against them.
And I want to ask you one question on Wharton. In addition to him, he comes from a team that's used to competing for Super Bowls. How does that experience and what he brings, even as an undrafted player when he came into the league, how has that helped your group?
Yeah, I mean, this guy obviously so impressed by this person. By the way, when you first meet him, he's got a presence about him. He's got an aura about him. Then you watch him in the classroom. I mean, he's a note taker. He's into it all the time, in the weight room, on the field. Like, this guy has got a purpose in everything that he does, and it's been really, really impressive to watch. And we know that he's coming from a place that had a great culture and that played a really good defense, especially on the D line. And so it's great to add guys like that could bring that experience and bring the mentality and that work ethic as well with it. And so he's been great so far. And then when you look at what he can do on the field, I mean, strong against the run. He could give you some pass rush. Very, very, very versatile player. And so so excited that he's part of what we're doing here and what we're building.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Ejiro, wanted to ask you about Andrew and coaching up a couple of rookies. From your perspective, what's it like watching him and his style and how he works with Nick and Prinsley?
You're talking about Coach Carter, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
Andrew,
So me and Coach Carter worked together when I was in Denver, and then obviously he went to the Rams after that. And then so glad that we were able to reunite here. And first of all, this guy is off the charts intelligent. I knew that from day one when I first got with him. And he's a very, very good communicator. He's a very good teacher. So detailed and meticulous in his approach in terms of how he approaches his players. And so, the number one thing that I think this guy does a great job with is that he can connect with his players. And it could be vets, young guys. He just does such a great job of being able to relate with the guys he's working with. And so I think that all in all, like, guys trust him. They know that he's really good at what he does. They know that he's got their best interest at heart. And so I think that's the foundation that he develops with the players. And then his acumen in football, obviously, is going to allow these guys to get to where they are capable of getting to.
right. And his background with the Rams, he was coaching the front guys.
Mm-hmm.
What was it about him that you saw kind of translatable to a different position?
Well, in Denver, he worked with both positions. He worked with the outside backers and the interior D line, and and really, at the same regards, he did the same thing at the Rams. But I know his title was assistant defensive line, but he's really worked with both positions. And but intelligence, work ethic, the ability to teach. When you look at all of those factors, you really can coach any position.
All right, and we will finish off with Joe.
Hey, Gerald. How are you?
Good, Joe. How you doing?
I'm good, man. You were talking about the communication between you and Dan. Did they keep you in the loop on Clowney, and what were those conversations like?
Yeah, no. Again, Dan has done a great job. Dan and Dave have been very open, and they communicate to me certainly the things that I need to know, and I'm very, very appreciative of that. And obviously, this is the decision that was made, and I'm very, very appreciative of JD and also Shaquille as well. I need to mention them as well, but certainly appreciate those guys' sacrifices and what they brought to our program last year. But this thing, as you guys all know, this league is always evolving. The teams are always evolving. and we've moved forward in this direction, and so we're looking forward.
The absence of him, or the departure of him, I should say, how does that kind of change the dynamic in that room? And are there some guys that you're sort of looking forward to seeing step up from a leadership standpoint and from a performance standpoint?
Yeah, no, we're certainly looking for everyone in that room, and really on the entire defense, coaches included, to perform better. And so that's got to be first and foremost. Everybody needs to perform better and improve, and that's the name of the game. And but in terms of leadership, I certainly love what Pat Jones is going to bring to the table, what DJ Wanham is going to bring to the table, DJ Johnson going to his third year, the leadership of Coach Carter as well. So, at the end of the day, there's opportunity for everyone in that room. There's competition for everyone in that room. There's competition all the way across our defense, and we're excited about that.
Any early examples from Pat or DJ along those lines?
Yeah, I mean, what Coach Carter, he's done a great job with this, and he's paired up the young guys in the meeting room sitting next to one of the veteran guys. So DJ Wanham is sitting next to Nick Scorton, and then Pat sitting next to Princely. And so I thought that was just a brilliant move. And so they're listening to the coach teach, obviously. Then they have a vet there that's seasoned and knows and has a lot of experience that they could relate to on things that may be a little grave for them. So I thought it's been an excellent job by Coach Carter in that respect.
Thanks.
All right, thank you so much, Coach Evero.
All right,
Appreciate
thanks,
you
y'all.
taking
Good
the
seeing you all.
time.
Thanks.